I spent most of my life fighting the idea that I would be a priest. Father Van der Gritten was he was a Dutchman, he spoke with a little accent. He was the priest until I was in the 6th grade. And what I remember about him and what was always talked about in my family and why my father just held him in great esteem was his reverence at the altar and the seriousness with which he took saying Mass. So I decided to go to the seminary when I was a senior in high school. I was ineligible because I only had 1 year of Latin in high school. So I went first to Conception Abbey in 1959 and did 2 years of Latin in 8 weeks. There were 13 of us in the seminary from St. Francis. I was ordained at Christ the King in Oklahoma City, where I also had my first Mass. They had that beautiful modern sanctuary to have my first Mass in, and I was kind of excited about that. As a little kid, it was the tabernacle and kneeling in front of the tabernacle and praying. As a young priest, it was discovering, and that's what I loved about the changes, were all new and different ways to make this Eucharist speak to the people at another level. It was the epitome of the confusion of that time. It was very hard to remain centered. It was filled with many opinions of what should be and what was going to become. I was ordained in 1967. In 1968, we lost a priest every month. Every month, Father X, Y, Z would leave. And so that by the time November came along and you said, oh, Father so-and-so left, you would go, I wonder who it'll be next month. You didn't even get involved in the fact that this priest just left. I mean, it was just so constant. My first assignment was St. Mary's in Ponca City. Father Joe McGurk was the pastor. He helped me put my feet on the ground very solidly right after ordination. I went from there to St. Pat's. And St. Pat's was, is there a new idea this week? Let's use it. And that was very different than Father McGurk. Well, if the idea isn't at least 500 years old, let's not even talk about it. Architectural movement up. Once you stand here, everything takes you up, which is Gothic architecture. The vines, Bishop Reed put those in. Those go back to 1948. He's the one that's the only part that didn't get whitewashed in 74, and we decided that should stay. Every night at 10:30, Father Matt came with his little thing and his little bucket, and he climbed up the scaffolding and went up there. He tweaked the gold till 3 o'clock in the morning. I don't know how many weeks he did that. We have some of probably the best young priests I've dealt with in my 55 years. And some of them are kind of way out there, but theologically, they're very sound. You know, the pendulum is way up here at the moment. Well, it'll come back down, and things will kind of calm down, and it'll center for a while, and it'll go left again, and then it'll come back. It's only been doing that for 2,020 years. You know, it's nothing new. Some of the approach that post-Vatican II early years took to the Eucharist were a little bit too loosey-goosey, but it also tore down some barriers that kind of needed to come down, that allowed us to approach it at a more intimate level. And now kind of we need to rebuild the awe part needs to come back a little bit. All that holiness and all that wonder of the Eucharist is now much more tangible to us and accessible to us than it was before. And we need to rejoice in that.